Okay, we are officially live. Some of you are in the chat already. If you're in the chat, please let me know that all is working. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I love seeing this global audience hanging out, talking about business, talking about changing your lives. We have some good stuff today. I'm starting a couple minutes early to make sure people jump in. So as I see you jumping in here, I see you Kling Music, I see you Zan the Man. Let me know that you see and hear me. And then as we'll get some people in here, we'll get started with some content and take Q&A. It's going to be awesome. We're going to be talking about your business stats, 3 stats you need to be checking to know if your business is healthy. It's sort of like taking the pulse on your business, looking at the future. We've got Simple Option Trading from San Diego, Amner Hunter from Mexico, Northwest Mexico. Excellent. Are you on the Pacific? Are you at the ocean at all? We got Dequan Coleman. Where are you tuning in from, brother? Zan says everything is working loud and clear. Yeah, as you're jumping in, let me know where you're tuning in from, and we'll get started here in just 1 minute. We got Indiana. We got Washington, D.C. Awesome. Awesome. Oh, well, someone says I'm looking fresh. Thank you, Shakar. I appreciate that. We got Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Zan is in Vegas. That's right. Linda from South Africa. I love it. I love it. Okay, cool. Well, we're going to get started here in just a minute. So like I said, get comfy. When I do these lives, I'm typically going to teach you for about 20 minutes, and then I'm going to open the floor to questions. So we do Q&A about what we just talked about and sort of workshop the idea and maybe apply it a little more specifically to your business. I want this to be helpful for you. Bethany, what's up? Nashville, but just came back from a trip to Florida. What part of Florida were you in? I love when people come visit. Culinary exploration. Where are you tuning in from? Zan wants to know, why did you start doing lives? Because I thought it'd be fun, because I love this stuff. I love interacting with you. I have the margin. I want to create some more content. And I just wanted to try something new and see if a regular live teaching session with you would be helpful to you. And so we're going to keep it going as long as you guys keep coming. So, okay, Bethany's in the Panhandle. Yep. I love it up there. I love Destin. Fort Walton Beach is nice. I've pretty much been everywhere on the Panhandle. Santa Rosa. There you go. Beautiful. We've got Jan from Panama and Central America. I love it. Amner, not in the Pacific, almost though. Very close to Arizona. Okay, so you're very close to where I was born. I was born on Fort Huachuca Army Base, which is near Sierra Vista, Arizona. So I was pretty close to the Mexican border where I was born. Yeah, we got SoCal in the house, Greece. I love it. All right, perfect. All over the world. People are excited. Let's dive into the content. Just so you know, if this is your first time with the Live with Graham, and if you're watching the replay, I love you too. It's okay if you didn't catch it live. Sometimes people jump in the middle, or you have to rewind, or you're catching it months later. It's all good. I'm going to teach for about 20 minutes. We're going to open up to Q&A. What we're talking about today is how to know if your business is working. This is a kind of an obvious question, but it's funny. I get questions like this a lot. Like, Graham, how do I know if I'm doing the right things? Because I think that's ultimately what's under the question is insecurity. Am I doing stuff right? How do I know? And sometimes we know we're doing things right by like doing exactly what our coach or mentor or a guru said. But I'm more interested in like looking at the actual health of your business and letting that determine if what you're doing is working, because there's no right way to do things, because there's not one way to make a good living online. There's a lot of ways. I always teach you the way and ways that I've seen to actually work in my businesses and in the businesses of my students. So it's not theory, it's reality, but it's not the only way. So just following a method is good, but that's not going to fill the void of security to know if it's working. So I want to give you 3 stats that I check regularly that I think you should be checking to kind of have a pulse again on your business. So we're going to do that, and then we'll open it up for questions. I will make a preface though. I'm going to jump into the 3 stats, but there's a most important stat in all of business, and I hope you know what that is. It is revenue. It is the money coming in. You could really say more important than that is your profit, right? The actual money you get to keep. So I don't want to nitpick that today because we're not going to be talking necessarily about expenses versus revenue, but that is a thing. There are a lot of people who will talk about how much money a launch made or how much money their business makes, but what they don't talk about is how much of that they had to pay to affiliates who promoted it, and how much of that went to the Facebook ad spend, and then how much of that went to paying their team of 20 people to do everything. So what are they actually taking home as real money? Who knows? They don't talk about that. So I think profit is the most important, but let's just simplify it for today. Your income is all that matters. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because some of you are already in a business. And I know this because in my communities and my coaching clients ask me this. They say, Graham, how do I know if I've optimized my business enough? Like, how do I know if I've done enough in my business? Should I be split testing all my subject lines for my emails, right? Should I be split testing my sales pages? And they want to optimize and optimize. And I'm not the guy to talk to you about that because I don't care about any of that. What do I care about? Is the business making money? So the number one stat, which isn't even one of the three I'm going to teach you, I couldn't get my fingers up right. 3, this is not even one of the 3 because this should be a given. The most important stat is income. Is money coming in? If it is, then really that's what matters most. I don't really care about how anything else is performing if I'm getting income coming in. So if you have a business and money's coming in, I would say just don't obsess over optimizing. I'm not saying you shouldn't try to make it better. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm saying you can rest a little easier, sleep a little better knowing, hey, it's making money. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just good enough to make money has been my benchmark from day one, right? And what you want to do is just to know if that income is good is check your average income over 3 to 6 months. So look at the last 3 to 6 months because every month is different. Maybe you had a launch, maybe you didn't. Maybe it was the summer like we talked about a couple weeks ago and is a summer slump. You know, don't look at any one month to know the health of your business. That's not a trend. It might be a trend if it's the same over 6 months, but look at it for 3 to 6 months, take the average, and then look at your average income and say, hey, is this average growing from the 3 to 6 months before that? Is this average growing from where I was a year ago at this month? It's very easy to lose sight of how the business is doing because you look at one number, you had one good month, but then the next month is a little bit lower. And so you're like, oh, I'm going backwards. But are you really? If you look at what you're doing this month versus a year ago this month, is it higher? Is your average over the last 6 months higher than your average was a year ago? If the answer is yes, then what you're doing is working. Stop freaking out. However, if you're like, Graham, that's great to know. If money's coming in, everything's great. I don't have any money coming in. What do I do? Okay, if you don't have any money coming in or you haven't launched yet or you're at the beginning of this, then that is the most important stat for you is to go bring some money in. The next 3 stats are going to be somewhat important to you. They really are important once you're up and running. But I think the most important thing you could do is to go out and make $1. And so the best way you can do that, if you want to do it fast, is with my 30-day online income jumpstart. Even if you've got a product, but you haven't launched it yet, download this guide. It will be a kick in the pants for you to launch it 4 weeks from now. It's going to give you a 4-week checklist of what to do to get that thing launched. If you don't have a business started, you don't even have an idea of what you could sell or who you could sell it to, then this was designed expressly for you to figure out your idea, make sure it's going to be profitable, go out and find a small audience, and then build your product and sell it as you're building it, and you can be making money in 30 days. It's not going to be a ton of money, but it's going to be money. And money is money, and that's proof of concept. When people can like a video, people can listen to your podcast, but when someone gives you money, that's the ultimate validation that what you're saying is working and is important and has value, right? So I think that's so important to make a few dollars. So download that guide, grahamcochran.com/jumpstart, and get started. That's the most important stat. Okay, now let's get into the 3 stats that I wanted to talk about, assuming you know that income is the most important. So check your revenue. Is money coming in? If you have an accountant and you've got your P&L statements, profit and loss, like what is your actual take home? What is your profit looking like? Because it's easy for income to grow, but profit to go down if you just keep hiring people or keep buying expensive tools or software or running ads. Like profit is really the most important, but most of our businesses are pretty lean. If you do what I'm teaching you, you're not going to have very many expenses. So income and profit will be pretty close, but that's the most important stat. But let's dive into the 3 real quick, and then we'll open it up for questions. Okay, you ready? I hope you are. Stat number 1, the most important stat I look at beyond income is email opt-ins. Email opt-ins, not the size of my list, but email opt-ins every month. Why? Because that is a predictive stat. That is a leading indicator of whether I make money next month or this month. Okay. The most important thing I do in my business is grow my email list. Most important thing, because without people on my email list going through my email funnel, I don't make money. That's the way I've set up my business, and it's the way I recommend you set up your business, because like we've talked about, and I talked about in my video podcast that came out yesterday, why I don't consider myself a traditional YouTuber. I don't want to hope and pray that I stay in favor with the YouTube gods or even the Google algorithm, some of my blog posts coming up. I don't want to base my business around something I can't control. What can I control? An email list. So I'm constantly trying to build my email list, and that number of how many people are opting in per month is the most important number for me. So when I look at new businesses, I always want to know, what are your email opt-ins per month? Is it 100 new people per month? Is it 500 new people a month? Is it 1,000 a month? That is the most important number, period. If I see that number, I can predict what kind of revenue they're going to do in the next 6 to 12 months. It is the most predictive indicator I can think of for this kind of business. So if you aren't growing your list and you're up over here obsessing over your, like I said, the color of your buttons, or like optimizing or, split testing your sales page or split testing your email subject lines, you're kind of missing the point. Like none of that matters if you don't have fresh leads, and none of that matters if you don't have new people joining your list. So what can you be doing to get your list growth up? So take a look at it. Now, if you're just looking at it and you're like, okay, I don't know what is a healthy number. There is no healthy number other than, are you getting consistent new leads in your list? And is that growing? Ideally, that's growing. Even if it's not growing, if the number of leads coming in is consistent, and if it's enough to produce the revenue you need, we'll talk about that more in a second, then that is critical to you knowing if you have a healthy business. I'll give you some benchmarks. I hate to do this when it comes to email list growth, because so much of it depends on your niche, but if you are only getting 30 to 100 new emails on your list every month, it's time to ramp that up. We need more content. We need more guest posting. We need a lot more. One of my students is in my Epic Mastermind. Her name's Rebecca, and she's started a business 2 years ago in the photography niche, and she's crushing it. She's on pace to do $500,000 or more this year. And she's just really figured out a lot of stuff and is doing a lot of things well. One thing that I realized, had no idea, was that her email list is only growing by 50 to 90 a month. I said, Rebecca, do you have any idea that like that is the most important thing you could be working on? Not launching a new product, if you could just commit. I've been trying to get her to get on YouTube. If you can just, she's been growing a little bit organically with Facebook groups and some on Instagram, but she's missing a huge source of income, which is if she could just commit to her YouTube strategy, which it's rolling out. She's been filming, it's going to happen. But I knew to her it was like one of the things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the thing. Because if you focus on that and push people to your email list with her skill set, the content I know she's capable of, she should easily be bringing in 500 to 1,000 new leads a month off of a relatively small YouTube channel. You don't have to be huge to pull in 500 to 1,000 new emails a month on your list. That would be a great benchmark for any of you. If you're not close to that, then that tells you got some work to do on your content, figuring out if you're making what people want, figuring out if you're creating content that the algorithm is liking, get guest posts, collaborate, get in front of new audiences. That is the most important thing you could do any day of the week, is grow your audience so you can grow your email opt-ins, because that's the most important stat. That's predictive of income. Why is that predictive of income? Because if you have an email funnel like the way I teach, then when people go into that funnel, they are offered your product or products automatically. This is the whole business model I teach. So that's where you make your sales. Now, you're going to have some promotions throughout the year. Maybe you launch something new, but that's not the bread and butter of this business model. The bread and butter is your email funnel. And so that's why the second stat you really want to pay attention to is your funnel conversion rate. How well does your email funnel convert? Have you ever thought about that? Like, if you've launched, you have a course, whether it's a mini course or a full-fledged course, doesn't matter, or membership, doesn't matter, coaching, doesn't matter. Whatever your email funnel is promoting, how well does that convert? How do you know? Well, the way you measure this is you take the number of email opt-ins in a month, so the number of people that join your list, which is the first stat, and then you look at the number of sales you made of that product that month, assuming that that's the only time and place you sell it is in the funnel. So you take the number of sales you made. So if you sold 10 copies of your course last month and you had 100 people join your email list, you divide 10 by 100, is simple math, you have a 10% conversion rate. That's the conversion rate of your funnel. It's not based off of how many people opened the email or how many people saw the sales page. None of that matters. What matters is the total number of sales as compared to the total number of people who, in theory, would be getting these emails. What is a good conversion rate? 0.5% to 1% of your list. 0.5% to 1% is a good conversion rate. Yes, that is low. Yes, that is realistic. Anything above 1% is great. I mean, we want more than 1%. But if you're getting 0.5%, it's solid. If you're getting 1%, you've got a really good offer. Anything above that, you should just pat yourself on the back and go get a sandwich and enjoy yourself, because that's really, really good. So you can easily figure this out. I don't have a stat inside of my Kajabi backend that says, here's your conversion rate. What I do is I just go and look at last month, how many email opt-ins did I get? And then I go and look at the offer for the main course that I sell in my funnel. And I don't look at revenue, I look at number of copies sold. So, and I just divide. And so I'm always shooting for over 1%. And then that's what every few months, I'm just checking that to make sure that my offer is still converting. If you're getting that 0.5% to 1% conversion rate of the offer you're selling in your email funnel, or at least the first offer, if you have multiple offers, it might drop down a bit. But if you're converting well on your first offer, then you can know, hey, I've got a good conversion rate. That's healthy. Now, you can have a good conversion rate. Again, 1% is a good conversion rate, which means if you have 100 people joining your list every month, you're going to sell 1 copy. Well, that's depressing, because 1 copy of your course, unless it's $10,000, is probably not going to make your life awesome. Which goes back to what I said in the last stat, which is the most important thing is getting more people to join your email list. That is the most important thing. That is why I commit to content every single week, right? You can see how this puts all of the pressure back on you delivering insane value, and not just content, but making sure that it's pointing to your lead magnets. This is something I talked about yesterday on the video podcast. A lot of YouTubers just, they use their video, they use the moment, they have people's attention to get them to do what? Like this video, subscribe. And it's a giant waste of time when, if they're going to do one thing, the most important thing you want them to do is to opt into your email list by downloading your free lead magnet. Because now you have another person on your list. Now you can increase the number of sales you make, because again, you're shooting for 1% or so of people on your list. So if you want to sell 10 copies of your course, you probably need 1,000 people joining your list every month. Now, you can increase your conversion rate for sure, but I just want you to know that if you're getting 1%, that's pretty good. Like, it's really hard to get anything higher than that. Like, you could get 2% for sure on a solid offer, but I wouldn't bank on like, well, if I just convert 10% or 5%, good luck. Good luck. It's not going to happen. If it does, then just thank your lucky stars and don't complain, but don't bank on that. You have more control of getting more people on your list than you do converting at a ridiculously high percent. And again, this isn't conversion rate of people that open your emails or people that land on your sales page. That conversion rate should be higher than 1% because these are people that are really interested. I'm just talking about looking at the number of people who are going through your funnel compared to the number of sales. So that's stat number 2, funnel conversion rate. And third and final stat that you want to look at to know if your business is working is email open rates and click-through rates. See how all 3 of these are really related to email? Super important. So your email open rate, and I don't just mean in your funnel. I do mean in your funnel for sure. That's the first place to look at. But in your regular weekly or multiple times a week email broadcast to your list, what is your open rate, the percentage of people that actually open your emails? Now, if you're new to online business, you're facing this sad reality that you don't get 100% open rate. You don't even get 80% open rate. You'd be lucky to get 50% open rate, but that's not realistic for most lists, which I thought was depressing when I first started out 12 years ago. I was like, I don't understand why my open rates are so low, till I realized they actually were very high compared to most people's open rates. So typical open rates, just so you know, for a new list, right? Like it's small, you're new, it's exciting, and especially for new people in your funnel. So the first few days, the first week of your email funnel, a typical open rate that's healthy is 40 to 50%. If you're getting 40 to 50% of your people to open those initial emails, either when your list is small and you're sending a broadcast or in your funnel, 40 to 50%, that's incredible. High 30s is still incredible, but 40 to 50 is like, that's amazing. Now, as your list grows or as you start to send broadcast emails out to people who've been on your list for a while, you're going to typically see 15 to 30% open rates. Ideally, you want to keep your open rates in the 30s if you can. That's magical. And the way you do that is stop sending crap to your people. Only send good stuff. Really look at your email subject lines. Make sure you're writing subject lines that aren't just like, how to do this. Like they're actually like compelling, like make people want to open it. Like your job is to make people want to open the email. They shouldn't have to want to open it. You should give them a reason to open it. So email subject lines are critical, but also a lot of it has to do with just scrubbing your list, which means deleting or unsubscribing inactive people on your list. If you're a Kajabi user, there's a one click to do this. It has a framework. It looks at people that have been on your list for at least 30 days. They're not a paying customer and they haven't opened a single email in at least 90 days or in the last 90 days. They consider those people inactive. And I think for the most part, that's pretty accurate. Those are the kind of people that probably aren't going to open your emails anymore. If you want to be more conservative, you could make that 120 days or longer that they haven't opened a single email, but you just one click and it'll unsubscribe all those people. Because every time you send emails out, if they're not opening them, they're counting against your open rate. And why do open rates matter? Because they affect your email deliverability. They actually affect your ability for your emails to show up in people's inboxes versus spam. Because a lot of email clients look at open rates to determine if it's a healthy list or not. And if your open rates are dropping, depending on whether it's Gmail or Hotmail or Yahoo or Outlook or whatever it is, their formula might be different, but they might say, oh, his email open rates are like below 15%. Must be a spammy email list. Let's just put it to spam. You don't want that. You want to keep your open rates as high as possible. Again, shoot for 30% or more. So you do that by sending valuable stuff, email subject lines that are just so compelling that people want to open them, and then just scrubbing your email list every quarter, at least every 3 months, every 3 to 6 months, just unsubscribe the inactive people in your list. Again, people that they're not a customer, they've been subscribed for at least 30 days, but they haven't opened an email in the last 90 days is a good framework. And click-through rates are important too. If you're just sending out like blog posts or your latest, video, like, yeah, 2 to 5% click-through rate is probably good. Like, people who actually want to read that post or listen to that episode of your podcast or watch that video. It's obviously smaller than the open rate because they have to see what's inside the email. If you're selling something, your click-through rates are going to be much lower. Shoot for 1% for click-through rate then, because obviously they know you're selling something at that point. So it's going to be lower than a free piece of content. But I have click-through rates that go as low as 0.5% for a promotion on my bigger list at the Recording Revolution to 1 to 2% on the Graham Cochran brand. And then for free stuff like my weekly video or something, hopefully 3 to 5 or higher for the free stuff. So there are the 3 stats to know if your business is working. Short of income, that's the preface stat. And if you miss that, that's the most important stat, right? Is money coming in. If that's doing that and you're profitable, that's all that really matters. You don't have to optimize. You don't have to obsess over making it perfect. But as long as money's coming in, that's important. But the 3 stats we broke down, right? Email opt-ins. How many new people are opting into your list every month? What is your funnel conversion rate? So how many sales of your course or product as compared to the number of new people that joined your list that month? You're shooting for 0.5% to 1%. And then email open and click-through rates, right? Looking for 40 to 50% open rates for new people on your list. And like if your list is tiny, but realistically try to keep it in the high 20s, but really in the 30s for your list moving forward. And you do that by sending engaging stuff, scrubbing your list, all that good stuff. If you haven't made money yet, again, I'm going to say go ahead and grab my 30-day online income jumpstart guide, because you're not going to have any stats if you haven't started. So your most important mission is to go out there, build something that's valuable to people and sell it, and then make some money. And then you'll start to get some data. If you're 30 days old, you don't have enough data to have stats that really matter. But if you've been doing this for 6 months or a year, like you can look at the stats and know if this is going to work, if you're healthy or not. And then you can stop stressing out, because look, at the end of the day, and the reason why I wanted to do this live is it could always be better. Your business, my business could always be better. That is a weight that's too heavy to bear if you're like measuring your success as a business owner based off of like, is it perfect or not? Or is there anything I could improve upon? Of course, there's something you could improve upon. Like everything I do could be better, but I don't care that much, because I can look at these stats and know that my business is healthy and it's working. And so then I can just move on with my life. And isn't that the reason why you started a business? So you can move on with your life? There you go. All right, let's open it up to questions. I'm happy to dive into anything that you want to cover. If I didn't make anything clear, if you want to like dive in deep on some analytics, we can talk about that. I love the email list with a bicep curl. Love the people all about that. All right, let's see. Ray says, what are your thoughts on having a founder member lower price to launch a membership that they'll be grandfathered in at that rate? I think it's a great idea. I do that for my memberships. Jan says, hello, Graham. My short story. I started on YouTube in February of this year, posting once a week. At this point, 61 subscribers on my channel, 500 email subscribers on the list, and 1 sale. How can I generate more traffic? Well, first of all, congrats on the 500 people on your list. Did all 500 of those people get pitched your course and you still only got 1 sale? If so, that feels like a low conversion rate, but I don't know if all those people have gone through a promotion or a launch. If not, you could just relaunch that course to this 500 and see how many it converts. Ideally, you're looking for 2.5 to 5 of a list of 500 people. So if you sold anywhere from 3 to 5 or more copies of a 500 person email list, then you would know that you have a good product or a good offer or a good price point. If you're only selling 1 and 500 people heard about this, maybe there's something off with your offer. It's not compelling enough. It's not a no-brainer enough. Could be the sales pitch. It could be the price. It could be not what they're looking for. Yeah, so it sounds like, it says they've all been pitched. It sounds like there's something with the offer that's not what they want. So maybe you could test out different prices to see if that moves the needle. If nobody seems to care at a lower price or over a payment plan, then it may just not be the right offer, or might be the wrong positioning of the offer. And that's happened to me for sure too, where I launched a product that I thought everybody wanted, didn't make nearly as many sales as I should. And I realized that either it's not what people want, or it's not positioned in the right way. I ended up positioning it differently and bundling it with a membership. And now people are loving it, and it's a better fit for them because they're more advanced. So I just had to like rethink where that offer should live. Christopher, what's up, brother? You made it. Scrubbing my list is the one thing I haven't done yet as a new user of Kajabi. My typical open rates are between 20 and 25%. Yeah, so I would scrub your list. I mean, I know you're newer to Kajabi, but you've got a few months under your belt. So maybe Once you've had your email list on Kajabi for 90 days, you could scrub it. George KC says, Graham, you helped me last time about teaching the topics of HTML, CSS, and Linux. That's right. My problem is I can't get any type of attention on my YouTube videos no matter what I do. I have about 20 vids. George, are there other people that are doing videos on Linux and HTML and CSS on YouTube? I would imagine so. If so, go find their channels, go click on videos on their channel and sort them by most popular and see what videos are getting the most views. Look at their titles, look at the descriptions, look at the topics. Maybe you're just not making videos people care about. But also, if you're newer to YouTube, it might take some time for the algorithm to see your videos and recommend them in places. I don't know how long you've been at it, but that might be part of the problem. Daquan says, do you see the e-learning industry being around for a while, or is it just a fad? Oh my gosh, it's not a fad. Dude, my prediction is that we are at the beginning or at the front of, if you're a surfer, and I'm not, but the surfer analogy is we're a surfer on a board in front of a giant 40+ year wave. I mean, I think this is the future of education. I think you're going to see a lot of disruption that you already are on college and higher education, getting certifications, so many people changing careers. It's insane. And that was already happening pre-COVID. COVID is just the workspace and employment is so strange right now. People can't get people to apply for jobs because people are like, you know what? I have options. I have choice. I don't have to go to college to change my career or my life. I can get on YouTube and learn something and go do something different. So we are at the beginning. This is not a little fad that just happened. We're at the beginning of a massive shift in the way people learn things and do their lives. So yeah, it's going to be around for a long time. Fly Ride, what's up, man? Do you have a strategy to knock the dust off a list that's been almost never served with regular emails? I'd like to shake things up before scrubbing. That's a great question, because if you haven't been emailing them regularly, then just straight scrubbing them doesn't make sense, because there's a reason why they're not opening, because you're not sending emails. So what I would do is some variation of like a 2-week re-engagement campaign of popping into their world. If you literally haven't emailed them in a long time, popping into their world and saying, hey, I haven't emailed you in a long time. Sorry about that. If you don't remember who I am or why you're on the list, this is the kind of stuff I'm going to be bringing to your inbox for free every single week, covering topic A, B, C, bullet, bullet, bullet. And I want to start with today. I want to share with you my favorite secret on whatever, whatever, whatever. So you're reminding them that they're on your list. You're reminding them who you are and why they should be on your list. Some people are going to be like, who's this guy? Unsubscribe. But others are going to be like, okay, cool. And then maybe for 2 to 3 weeks, start emailing them some of your best material. Do some cool stuff to really pop back in their inbox, and then settle into a rhythm of at least once a week. Always email your list every single week with something free, your latest post, your latest video, something you're doing, whatever. It doesn't matter. Just email them once a week minimum. And then I think you'll be able to start creating some better data to know if it's ready to scrub your list. Zan the Man. It's funny, my dad used to call me Graham the Man. Graham, for this YouTube Live, are you just hitting the live button, or are you using another program connected to Kajabi? Neither. I am using StreamYard. You can go to StreamYard.com. It's a free tool. I have one of the paid versions, but what it does is it can connect to your YouTube account. It can connect to Facebook Live. And it's great because it allows me to do things like this, like put your comments on the screen. It allows me to, do split screen with guests and put the banners on the screen and all that kind of stuff. So it's just it's like OBS, but it's not stupid looking like OBS. It's very simple and easy to use. I'm a simple person, so it's good for me. Simple Option Trading says, after everyone on my email list has gone through my email funnel sequence and I made sales, do I repeat the next month? Great question. So I love that you brought this up. When you think about promoting to your email list, I want you to think about there's 2 types of promotions. That's it. Number 1 is your email funnel for new subscribers. Everyone who joins your email list because they downloaded a lead magnet. These are usually new people that just found you. Usually, sometimes they're lurkers that have listened to your podcast or watched your videos forever, and then they finally download a lead magnet. That's fine too. But it's people that finally have given you their email address. They should go through these pre-written set of emails, what I call an email funnel. And that's going to pitch a product or products. Okay, that's always going, and it's perfect. It's going to convert well because the people that are most interested in you are the people that just found you. So you want to have that in place. And that's how I create money automatically without doing anything or having to promote or hustle stuff and pitch stuff all the time. That's one type of promotion. But that's only for new people. But that's why you always want new people. The second type of promotion is when you then promote to people who are already on your list. This could be you launching a new product. So if you finally build something new, you're going to promote it to your whole list. This could be if you have a sale coming up, right? We're a couple months out from the Black Friday sales event that's taken over the world. You could promote a bundle of some of your courses at a discount or something like that for Black Friday. That would be a promotion to your list. If you have a product that you open and close, like my membership, the Six-Figure Coaching Community, you can't join it whenever you want to. I only open it twice a year. I do this to my email list. Those types of things you want to have a promotional calendar for, meaning you've looked ahead the next 12 months and you're like, hey, in February, I'm going to promote this. In April, I'm going to promote this. In Black Friday, November, I'm going to do a Black Friday sale. Like that's how big boys and big girls treat their businesses. They don't just wing it. They have a promotional calendar of when they're going to launch or promote things. Now, you don't have to promote every month. I think we do that for the Recording Revolution because I have enough products and enough collaborations where I have enough stuff to sell every month. I don't do that with this brand because I don't have enough stuff to sell every month. But I started with quarterly, and now I'm probably every other month promoting something. But no more than once a month. It's a personal preference. I don't like to promote and launch something more than once a month because I do a legit launch, and that takes a lot of effort. And I want to space that out and add value for free for the remaining of the month or for the next 3 to 4 weeks or something. But yeah, so you got the funnel for new people, and then you have your promotional calendar of what you want to promote to your list. So I hope that helps. Great question. Yeah, Zan says it's a $400 billion industry. Yeah, it's growing like crazy. I've got a book coming out called How to Get Paid for What You Know. And it's literally like, this is not a fad. This is the future. So jump on it now. It's going to be great for people you're not late to the party. You're early to the party. The people 10 years from now aren't even really going to be that late to the party, but you are going to be 10 years ahead of them. So start now. Amner says, since June of 2020, I started to collect emails and commit to 2 to 3 videos weekly. I clean my email list every week. Small but highly engaged, 40 to 50% open rate. Almost finished my first product. That's incredible. I love you're being prolific by posting 2 to 3 times a week. I love that you're obsessed with scrubbing your list. One of my star students, Aiko, she's in my mastermind as well. She has the tiniest list, I think 250 people. She scrubs it super regularly, and she does a reverse scrubbing. She emails out her list. She's like, if you want to stay on my email list, you got to click this, or you got to let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to cut your butt. So it's like the opposite, and she will lose 80% of her list every time. And she's doing, on average, over $20,000 a month, and she's had $30,000 months on an email list of 250 people. Now that is rare. That is not your typical results, right? If this were P90X ad for fitness routine, it'd be like not typical results, but it is real. And that's because she sells very expensive, very high ticket coaching packages that are super niche, and she doesn't need a ton of people, but she's very aggressive and she has a very highly engaged list, and she knows everybody's name on that list. It's pretty impressive. I love it. Flower says, I know all my YouTube videos will be getting emails with the description like you do. That'll keep it always current at a minimum. Love that. Wade, what's up, brother? I'm one of Graham's mastermind students. What he teaches is legit. You must buy his course, Automatic Income Academy. I just clicked on this because he was promoting my own stuff. Thanks, Wade. I'll see you later today, brother, on our call. I love it. Wade's crushing it on his new YouTube stuff, and he's a golf coach. So if you like golf, go check out his stuff. Wade Fillingham Golf. Love it. Let's see. So Daquan says, I'm a wedding photographer. I've been in the wedding industry for 4+ years full time. I'm now interested in servicing other wedding videographers and crafting digital products. Yeah, I have students that do exactly that. One of my students, James Whitmere, is a destination wedding photographer, and he and his wife, Jess, are crushing it in that space, but they have moved into the digital education space, and they want to be able to scale their income and take fewer weddings or be choosier with that, or just double their income by keeping their wedding income and then doing the same amount in digital course sales. So they're moving into education. It is a great space because there's so many people. The demand for learning how to be a wedding photographer and make good money is going to be in high demand. So I think it's great for you. Krivas says, I have 4 courses for the same target, music producers. Would you make 4 funnels, one for each course with different magnets, or promote 4 courses in the same funnel, or promote a bundle, not separated? Great question. So that's basically like what I do with the Recording Revolution. I hate complexity. I hate complexity. You have to give me a really good reason to make my life more complex than it needs to be. Hence, I only have 1 funnel. The longest my funnel was a 45-day funnel, and it pitched 5 products. It was doing $30,000 a month. It was great. I mean, like, that's the kind of way I think about it. Like, why complicate it if I don't have to? So if I'm you, and I'm not you, but if I'm you, I would have 1 funnel, promote the most popular course at the front of the funnel, and then have other courses promoted in it, and make sure you're spacing it out by adding value in between and having promotions that are valuable in and of themselves, that every email they open is actually teaching them something. Even the pitch emails might teach them something or add value, right? Zan says you should create a waiting list for your new book and a pre-sale page. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. It is coming. Little hint, you might be able to go pre-order the book right now on Amazon. How to Get Paid for What You Know, Graham Cochran. But yes, I will be doing pre-sale stuff very soon. So get ready. And if you pre-order the book, there's going to be some awesome goodies you're going to get. So I will be talking about that a lot because I really need your help. Whether you've bought any of my courses or anything, or ever buy a product from me, like, this would be literally the cheapest thing, literally, that I ever sell. And it's like all my best material in one book. And it would help me out a ton if you support me with a book. But lots more coming on that. I love it. People are pumped about the book. Yeah, this is great. Let's see. Suren, awesome name. And I love the sneakers. Graham, for people who are time and tech poor, can you recommend any support resources or community to get help with setting up Kajabi, creating, editing, managing video, and social media? All right. So, Suren, question. Have you signed up for Kajabi yet? Have you signed up for Kajabi yet? If you haven't, you should sign up with my link, grahamcochran.com/Kajabi, because I will give you an entire course called Ready, Set, Kajabi that will walk you through how to do all of that. Not the social media piece, but how to get your way around Kajabi, get launched, and how to use it to like grow your business. Beyond that, which I give you for free if you've joined through my link. And if you haven't, if you already have Kajabi, let me know. Maybe I can hook you up. But the Kajabi user group on Facebook, and I'm not on Facebook anymore, but if you're on Facebook, it is actually populated with a lot of really smart and helpful people. It's actually a great group. It's gotten big. It's a great group. Okay, so good. You have my course and it's awesome. I really would say get in that group because you can ask a lot of advice and get some really helpful advice from people. If you need actual help to do it, like people to do it, there's a bunch of people in there that do like literally like do it for you Kajabi stuff. Like, I'm a Kajabi expert. Do you need me to build your site? Do you need me to do this? Now you got to pay them. But anyway, the Kajabi user group on Facebook is a great resource to either learn how to do something, get feedback on something, or pay someone to do it that knows Kajabi. Sarah says, so happy to be here. I'm going through Automatic Income Academy, and it's so awesome. Thank you. Thank you for going through it. I'm so glad it's helpful. Christian says, Graham, where would you sell a sample pack if you can't get into Splice? You could sell it directly off of your site. A lot of people give away sample packs for email opt-in, so you could do that as well. Grievous just pre-bought your book on Amazon. You should pre-send it already. I know. Don't worry. Hey, I'm going to be, once I get the digital version of it, pre-sale people will probably get that, and some other goodies as well. So keep your receipt. That's all I'm going to say. Keep your receipt. Talk to you soon. Zan, just purchased your new book. I love it. Thank you, brother. Awesome. Great questions, guys. I hope this is helpful for you. If you're liking these lives, please let me know in the chat. I'll keep going. Also, don't forget to grab the Jumpstart guide, the 30-day online income Jumpstart guide. If you haven't launched yet, this is critical for you because this will just make it simple. If you have a course and you haven't launched it yet, though, and you already have started your business, it's a launch strategy. You can use it and tweak it to what you're doing. You'll get something out in the next 30 days. There's really no reason to wait. Like September and October, if you're watching this live, are a great time to launch something new. So get something out this month or next month. It's going to be awesome. I love it. So thank you guys for hanging out. Yes, Sarah, these lives happen the same time every Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Love it. Simple Option says the live stream is awesome. Amber says, love the live videos, Graham. Keep them coming. Awesome. You guys are amazing. Thank you for coming. Thank you for hanging out. Good questions. I hope this was helpful for you. And yeah, leave me a comment as you walk away, letting me know which of the 3 stats that we talked about you're going to pay a little bit more attention to that maybe you haven't been paying attention to. And let me know if you feel like, based off of what we talked about today, is your business healthy or does it need a little bit of work? Let me know in a comment below. That would be awesome. That's all I got for you today. I'll see you next week for sure. Same time, same place with another live with Graham. Have an amazing Wednesday. I'll see you soon.